Alright, let's test OriginOS. We have x100 Ultra on OriginOS 4 and x200 Pro, new device on OriginOS 5. Let's see what is the difference. Maybe there is some new features here. I won't update to OriginOS 5 on Vivo x100 Ultra because I love how this smartphone takes photos. For me, this is the best smartphone right now for photography. It easily beats x200 Pro in every way, every category. I'm not a big fan of new computation, that's why I'm keeping OriginOS 4, but maybe you want to upgrade. I will show you all the differences. First of all, animations. So almost everything is the same. Right now, you can see that x200 Pro looks smoother. That is because I changed developer option settings for animations. I'm not a big fan of very slow, very smooth animations. I always try to fasten them up. I will show you how to do this. Go to the settings, about phone, version info, and tap multiple times on software version. And now you unlocked developer options. Go to system management and upgrade, and now you can find developer options. Press it, here you can find bunch of settings. First of all, turn them on. Alright. You need to find Drawing tab. Here, Window Animation Scale, Transition Animation Scale, Animation Duration Scale. I suggest to set it to 0.5. All your animations will be doubled in speed. So both phones are now snappier. Or you can even turn them off completely. Now the response will be instant. Just play around with the settings for your liking. For now, I will just press 0.5. Let's start from Command Center. As you can see, we have some changes. On x100 Ultra, I can swipe down from any place on the screen. To do similar stuff on x200 Pro, we need to go into the settings. You need to go to the system management and upgrade. It's called Control Center. Press this, and you can change style of your control center. I like first one. It is very practical. For example, you can press on almost every button here, and it will give you multiple options. For example, flashlight. You can press flashlight, it has nice haptic feedback, and you can control the amount of your flashlight. We can press on our volume button, long press, hold, and it will open our media output. If you have, for example, multiple audio devices connected to your phone, you can quickly change them. For example, Bluetooth speakers. You can change the sound to be your smartphone speakers without turning off Bluetooth. The same can be done with brightness. Just hold. We have multiple options here and some other stuff. You can change some parameters in this control center options. Open control center from lock screen. You can change your styles. Also, you can swipe from left to right and get all your notifications. Very easy. Let's press System Navigation. As you can see, you can have different styles. For example, 3 buttons, or old school classical Android style, with button to go back, home screen, and all the apps. I like full screen gestures. You can hide indicator bar on the bottom. Both of them have smart sidebar. Long press from side. It will bring you this nice sidebar. It works from both sides. Very handy, very practical. If you open your app from this screen, it will give you floating window. If you move your app to side, it will minimize it on this icon. You can press this arrow on any of the opened apps, and you can open them in small window or split screen. You can easily switch between multiple windows, but only one will be on the screen at a time. Now you can see we have multiple windows. Press this icon and just choose what you like. You can grab this window, it will be always stuck on the side, and just close everything by moving it to this trash bin. Also, there is one more option how you can open your floating windows or split screen. Just grab your main window and move them on the top. On the right we have floating window, and on the left split screen. Very easy. Here it is, floating window and split screen. Very easy, very practical. Of course, there is not so much customizations like on Samsung's Good Lock, but still it is very easy to use. I like that we have these options. Let's see some more settings for system navigation. Go to the shortcuts and accessibility, and you can see multiple gestures for split screen, small window and smart sidebar. Just place 3 fingers, move up, and choose some app for split screen. Very easy. Open small window by swiping in from the lower left corner. That's easy. Here, see? Very nice. Works on both Origin OS 4 and Origin OS 5. Here we have some new options. Super dragging. Tap and hold to drag on Origin Island. By the way, Origin Island is a new feature. To enable it, let's dive in some settings. Go into the notification and status bar. Here you can see Origin Island. Press it and enable everything. Drag and go. Enable now. If you press on the content on your screen, maybe it is image, maybe it is a text, you can drag it to your Origin Island. Right now there is not much. Maybe in the future we can see some messengers like WhatsApp, Telegram and others. But right now it is only email, notes, so I don't know what will happen on FunTouch OS. This is Vivo's global devices, but right now functionality is slightly restricted. But this new Origin Island is very practical. I like it. Let's open music. We opened music. Let's minimize it. Now it is on the Origin Island. Let's open stopwatch, start counting, minimize it. Now we have 2. And we can switch between them. Very easy, very practical, very nice. This is a direct copy of Honor's Magic Capsule that was used by Apple with their Dynamic Island, and now Origin Island from Vivo. Let's go back to shortcuts and accessibility. As you can see, we have Super Dragging, Super Pocket. Some of this stuff on Origin OS is China exclusive. If you swipe from the side, it will open payment. But of course, this is for paying tickets on the train and some other stuff in China. Or you can use it to open your camera application. As capture, this is basic screenshot. You can press long screenshot and it will make the whole page. Smart motions. You can double tap to wake your screen, raise to wake. Basic but nice functionality. You can have quick actions. Quick action: when the screen is off, press and hold the volume down button to enable specific features. For example, you can turn off flashlight, scan QR code. I like to record audio. There are some shady, tricky situations where I want to record audio. Easy touch. You can have this feature. As you can see, it will help you to open some application. You can customize this easy touch small floating window. Lots of options here. I will turn this off. I usually don't use it. But the main reason why we are in this shortcut and accessibility tab, one-handed mode. To open one-handed mode, swipe from the side and then go back. It will open one-hand mode. You can customize the size, location on the screen, and it will work from both sides. this is my favorite one-hand mode on all modern smartphones. I love this. You can see some more settings. We have new driving mode, we have some elderly care, simple mode, some accessibility options. You can see it on your screen. New driving mode on x200 Pro.
已进入驾驶模式。
You can set different applications for more easy access when you are driving, not to be distracted. And it will be in the floating window. By the way, if you want your notifications to be shown on your Vivo device, what you need to do? Press this arrow key and lock it. You will see this lock in the side. If you close your application, it will go to sleep. Always keep it in this center. Don't just close it. Keep it opened all the time. Make sure that it is locked. Next, press App Info. First of all, press Battery Life. Background power consumption. Press it. High background power usage. That's why your application won't ever go to sleep. Next, go back to this window. Press Notifications. Allow notifications. Floating notification, lock screen notifications. Next, go to Permissions. All permissions. And now you need to press Associated Startup. Allow. You can press Floating Window. Also, you can press Auto Start. When you power on your device, this application will be launched. And now you won't have any problems with your notifications on your messengers and so on. For example, WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber, maybe Gmail. You need to do this for every app that you need notifications from. Global devices will do it by default, but as a result, you will get lots of spam from other applications that you don't need notifications from. So it is for you to decide what is better, to turn on notification only on 5 apps or restrict notifications on 100 useless ones. That's why I see no problem in Chinese ROM devices. Let's see sound and vibrations. Pretty basic stuff. We can control volume on all apps that are opened. Haptic feedback is a little bit different in new OriginOS, but functionality is the same. Low, medium, high. I like to set it on low, but you can absolutely tweak it for your liking. Sound quality and effects. We have super audio resolution, automatically improve low quality audio in video and audio files, but increase power consumption. Listening experience customization. You can absolutely play around with it. Super audio, smart movies, games and music. I find movies to be very nice, but you can play around with it. This video is not about difference between these two devices. Of course, Vivo X100 Ultra will be a lot better in terms of audio quality. Speakers will be more crisp, but you can definitely try and play around with it. It has audio redirect. After connecting a Bluetooth device, you can select the media output device for the following apps. Audio will be output via the Bluetooth device by default. Display and brightness. Pretty basic stuff here. Eye protection. Smart AI. Eye protection. The new feature in this OriginOS 5 will be high-frequency dimming technology. This feature is needed to reduce OLED pulsation, OLED flickering, to protect your eyes. For example, on Galaxy S24 Ultra, my eyes was very dry and I suffered eye strains and headaches. That's why I like this feature. By the way, you can access this feature on OriginOS 4 also. We need to go to the system management and upgrade. We have already turned on developer options. Go to the developer options. Find display tab and turn on the same flickering reduction feature. On OriginOS 5, it will be in the eye care tab, and on the OriginOS 4, it will be in the developer options. Screen colors, standard professional bright. I like to use professional. I find results to be the best. Also, you can have adaptive color, use warm or cool presets, or make changes by yourself. Everything is the same. Screen resolution. As you can see, X100 Ultra has more screen resolution, but to tell the truth, I'm always using HD. I just don't see any benefits of using it. Maybe your screenshots will be more crisp, up to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, visual enhancements. You can definitely use this feature. Optimized the color and contrast of some pictures for more vivid display effects. Using this feature will increase power consumption. Alright. By the way, speaking about battery life, you know, on paper, x200 Pro is a lot better. Of course, it has new 6000 mAh battery, and I found that when you record photos and videos, you can notice this battery life increase. But in real life, on daily use case, I don't see that much of an improvement. For example, Honor Magic 6 Ultimate Edition feels like has more efficiency. But again, this video is not about comparing different phones against each other, it is about Origin OS 5. By the way, I finally degraded my battery capacity to 99% on x100 Ultra. Nothing new here, I don't see any hard charge limits, alright. Home screen and wallpapers, always on display. Looks like everything is the same. You can customize your icons, lots of stuff here. You can change your system style, dynamic effects, lock screen and fingerprint scanner. Animations. Look like everything is the same. Fingerprint recognition animations. Looks like everything is the same. Face recognition animation. The same stuff. Ambient light effect. For incoming calls, you can change these animations. You can set it on notifications. You can even set USB insertion animation. But nothing new. You can see only 3 options, but again, nice to have some customization options. Screen on and off, natural, horizontal, and vertical. Other dynamic effects, origin player, weather backgrounds. You can see some weather effects. You can customize your home screen, your dock, home screen layouts, and here, swipe down on the home screen. I can see that we have this new feature, notification center and control. If you swipe up on the right, you will have control center, on the left you will have notifications. On Origin OS 4, you can only do this with control center or notification. But of course, on both you can swipe for the control center and from left to right to open your notifications. you have Spam Prevention Center. You can have up to 16 gigs of extended RAM from your SSD memory, but I tend to turn off this feature. Most of these features in the AI tab, Blue AI, they are mostly China exclusive. For example, Blue LM Copilot. It has this AI search. It has only Chinese language and very limited English. For example, it has analogy for circle to search. Let's press on the screen. It will allow us to interact with it. Let's circle to search. As you can see, everything is on Chinese. We need to set permissions. Can you speak English? Can you please speak English? For some features you need to be logged into your Vivo account. I really wish we have all these features. AI Blue LM Copilot, Voice Assistant, Joby Lens, and so on, with multi-language support.
在生活中保持一颗。
亲爱的朋友，今天阳光格外温暖，你那边呢？
Can you please use English language? If you press and hold on your applications, icons, you can get some functionality. Different applications will give you slightly different features. For example, this gallery app or notes. And most of them has origin kits. It is just like a widget. Press origin kit, select the style you like, and add kit. And now you have this on your screen. Also, you can enlarge your folders. The same way as on Origin OS 4. You cannot move pages inside these folders, but you can open application without opening a folder. And of course, you can share your applications right from the home screen. It has built-in Vivo Share technology. You can share different files among other Vivo devices, nearby devices, share with nearby devices. It found x100 Ultra. We can receive it. Done. 100 megabytes. I did not even have an opportunity to blink. It was that fast. If you press More Connections, you can see all these features, as well as Vivo Share, OTG, NFC, and we can manage all our devices in this tab. On Origin OS 4 it is called Multi-Device Connectivity, and on Origin OS 5, Connection Center. Let's press it. As you can see, I am using Vivo Watch 3 on Blue OS. This is very nice smartwatches, very nice interface, haptic feedback. In the past, I was using Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. By the way, it was very easy to connect it to Origin OS 4 on x100 Ultra. I used Vivo's V App Store. I downloaded Wear OS from that store and Galaxy Wearable, as well as Samsung Health. This new Vivo Watch 3 on Blue OS can easily work for more than 2 weeks, while Galaxy Watch 4 Classic usually serves me only 2 days. Battery life is not so good in these smartwatches. But of course the biggest problem with this Vivo Watch that I cannot accept calls from WhatsApp, Telegram, some messengers, while on Galaxy Watch it is possible. But of course, not that easy. But this is not the topic of this video. Smartwatch support on Android need to be addressed in the separate video, because Google went out of its mind. The basic feature on smartwatches is to get notification and answer the calls. That's all. All other health features are just gimmicks, and Android does not have an easy solution for this. Insanity. But let's go back to this connection center. You can have your tethering between your devices. You can use Vivo tablets, Vivo phones, Vivo smartwatches, Vivo headphones, and get seamless operation. Data handoff, cross-device usage, one-tap mirroring, one-tap transfer. Multi-device connectivity settings. Vivo has very nice gallery app. Now it has this outline feature. We already saw this on other smartphones such as iPhone and others. Oppo, Samsung. You can copy this image and send it to someone. We have this AI erase. Alright. Of course, this has nothing to do with smartphones. Let's try again on this smartphone. Alright, as you can see, very powerful feature. Oh, alright. This lantern is disguised as a fairy. Now it can scan for people on your shot. Press remove all. Alright. But you can do this manually on Original S4. In this app, it will do exactly the same. It will identify people without any problems. Now let's see some camera application. We have lots of changes in this app. First of all, basic photo mode. Everything is almost the same, except this moving photos button. It's called Live Photo. The same functionalities on other smartphones from different brands. We can change color profiles here, vivid, textured, and size natural. Colors look the same. Vivo is the only company that allows you to control this brightness, saturation, contrast, and sharpness in this automatic photo mode. You don't have to go into the Pro mode. You have working HDR and computation. Press these settings and make sure that effects are turned on. By the way, I can see new feature, manual focus mode. You can control your focus point manually, in this automatic mode, of course. I suggest to turn on everything. Grid, lines, level, shake, reminder. Of course, adjustments. And by the way, on Vivo, you can turn on and off HDR on your automatic photo mode. Sometimes it will affect your face when you don't have very large dynamic range, for example, skies. Especially on very bright backgrounds, you can turn this feature off. It will greatly help with your skin tone. I will show you right now this effect with HDR and without, against the very bright background. Play around, it can help you. So otherwise, you can control everything, brightness, saturation. For example, what I like to do sometimes, I like to choose textured color profile, go to the settings, make brightness slightly up, plus 20, plus 30. Saturation, I bring those down, maybe minus 20. Contrast levels, I don't touch. And sharpness, I bring those down to minus 33. But on Vivo X200 Pro, I will go all the way to minus 100. Because this smartphone is just too aggressive, too artificial, too plasticky with face and lots of details on your image. But again, all the tools here for you. Play around with these settings, play around with color profiles. And I'm pretty sure that you can get the results that you like. We can press more settings. You can see for yourself. On Original OS 5, on X200 Pro, we have ultra-wide angle correction. Because ultra-wide lens in X200 Pro has lots of downgrades, as well as very noticeable barrel distortion. Your image becomes very round and distorted. This feature can help you in these situations. You can control what settings to keep, portrait features, male-friendly makeup. If you want to use your portraits with faces of men, I suggest to turn this feature on. It will keep the face very subtle, without weird makeup, red lips, so I keep these settings on all the time. Remove moles. I see no point of this feature, because I think that moles on the faces of people are kinda cute. Raw features. In the Pro mode you can enable everything. We will look at this when we will go in the Pro photo and video modes. Enhanced night sky. It makes images of your sky very nice. Sky will be blue. It will bring very nice color separation in your image. It has new landscape moon effect, works with landscape mode only. It enlarges and enhances the moon above the landscape you are shooting. Also new feature, super telephoto enhancement. Only supports photo mode, enhancing the clarity of the photo by more than 20 times. Some scenarios may not achieve natural effect, and live photo and super macro are not supported currently. I suggest to turn this feature off. I really find results to be trash. Very artificial, very fake, I just dislike it. Pure garbage. But if you like this effect, more power to you. You can turn it on, and you can even go into the sharpness and slide it all the way to 100. It will give you even more of this crispy fakery effect. Photo glare reduction. In theory, it should help with lens flares on this new small main sensor on X200 Pro. Street photography camera. I will show you this mode right now. When you are in basic photo mode, you can see this arrow in the bottom. Just move it up, it will bring you Humanistic street photography. In this mode you can control shutter speed. You can easily take photos of fast-moving subjects on your streets. Fake bokeh effect, I suggest to turn it off. You can control your white balance. Exposure compensation. Now we have 135 millimeters. But the huge deal breaker, we don't have any HDR on X200 Pro right now. On X100 Ultra, it has HDR. That's why I can easily use this phone with this Humanistic street photography. But on X200 Pro, shadows becomes just too dark and all the highlights are overblown. Right now I see no reason of using this Humanistic street photography with X200 Pro. It is just unusable. Maybe they will fix it in the future. So it is what it is. You can choose your color profiles, black and white, vivid, natural and textured. Press this basic button and you can save your custom presets. So portrait mode. In portrait mode we can choose pre-installed presets or control everything manually. Choose our focal length. If you press this magic wand button, you can select different presets for colors and textures of the skin. I like to select natural or none. If you press this button, you can enable or disable fake bokeh effect and control the amount of it from f16 to f0.95. But I suggest to use something smaller, f2.8 or even f4. You will get a lot more natural and predictable results. Also, you can select bokeh effect from iconic Zeiss lenses. If you press this face button, you can enter the face retouching and facial reconstruction. Just press natural and it will try to reconstruct and make the face of your model to be more young, more beautiful. Or you can control all the settings manually. Smoothness, skin tones, whitening effect, profile of your face, and also facial features, size of your eyes, nose, lips, and some other stuff. But if you don't want to play around with this, I suggest just to press natural. You will get very nice results, I promise you. Also, you can press this button and get 85mm enhanced, very crisp image, high resolution mode. And one more thing, you can press this AI button. You can select different seasons of the year, also Chinese style. Let's press winter and make some photos. On X100 Ultra and on X200 Pro. You can see this moving line. You can press on it. You can see that it is uploading this photo to Vivo's servers. Sometimes your photos got stuck. It depends on your network, on your Wi-Fi, and the coverage of the signal. We can see that It transformed my arm. And the image looks very nice. Very realistic, very fun. Right now on X200 Pro, it does not move at all. In this situation, I suggest you to reboot your device and start again. I will try to restart Wi-Fi. I tried to share some Wi-Fi from X100 Ultra to X200 Pro, maybe it can help. Oh, we actually have some progress. For some reason it took so long on X200 Pro right now, but alright. So fun. We can select different season of the year, for example, spring. It will give us very blossom image. Also, if you press on the gallery AI visual, you can retry it in the same style or choose different one. It will generate you second, third and so on images. Let's try autumn. We have error on the X200 Pro. I pressed retry. Sometimes it can happen. By the way, right now I had notification on X100 Ultra and both Vivo Watch 3 and Galaxy Watch 4 Classic both send me notification, no problem. Alright, let's not waste too much time on this AI stuff. It is very fun. I will show you some results on the screen. I always love to play around with these modes, and if I want to impress my friends, I just take a photo of them in the winter style. It always brings smiles on their faces. Oh, we have some progress. Yeah, we have some spring stuff. Some blossom on the keyboard. Alright, this was portrait mode. Very fun, very nice. And here is the big difference on Origin OS 5. We have brand new landscape mode, and I am not a big fan of it. On Origin OS 4 we have night mode, and if we press more, we will have panorama, night panorama, landscape and architecture. It has perspective correction, miniature effect. Also it has supermoon mode. Dedicated supermoon mode. I love this. And if we press more on X200 Pro, we don't have any of this. You can see night mode, supermoon, panorama, but if you try to press it, it will say you that everything was moved to landscape. And you can remove these modes from this More tab. Let's press it and go to landscape. So, all these modes are now inside this landscape. You have less agency of your device, and you can only pray that scene detection inside this phone will do everything as it should, without any weirdness. So we have dedicated night mode, with supermoon, by the way with astrophotography. If you press landscape, you can see that almost everything is the same, but we have this tripod button. If you don't see this tripod, because you are shaking your phone, you need to place it on something solid, on table, on tripod, and then this button will appear. You need to be very accurate and press it very gently. So you can see we have this long exposure. On Origin OS it is inside night mode, press long exposure and you will get the same settings: star trails, night graffiti, fireworks, floating water. So this mode is needed to film light trails or shadow trails. Almost everything is the same, maybe slight difference here and there. On Origin OS 4 we can turn on and off supermoon, and my favorite one, astrophotography. You can see on Origin OS 5 we have this perspective correction, miniature effect, but I don't see any astrophotography mode, because it is built in the default scene detection. So your smartphone needs to detect that you are filming the sky, and it will try to bring all the settings to film stars. But on Origin OS 4 you can force your device to be inside this astrophotography mode. On Origin OS 4 we can have only astro portraits. To tell the truth, I find camera app on Origin OS 4 more logical, with more controls. I have no problems of Vivo to bring all this into the scene detection, into these computational algorithms in the default night mode, but please, give us ability to force smartphone to do what we want. If you press on the top, you will enter the perspective correction. It is kinda nice plus, because now you can have all this perspective correction with night mode, with astrophotography and so on. I think that it is very nice that we have this button here. If you press this button on the top left, you will enter into the panorama. And of course, on Origin OS 4, if you press the same button, it will be night mode panorama. And it will be day or night depending on your scene. For example, during the day, it will make daylight panorama, but during night or low light, it will switch to the night panorama. So as you can see the trend, new camera app inside Origin OS 5 tries to detect the scene by itself and give you some results, where on Origin OS 4 you need to choose between different modes and think for yourself. Snapshot is needed for fast-moving subjects. When you take a photo inside the snapshot mode, it will make shutter speed very fast. For example, 1/500, 1/1000 and more. You can freeze the motion this way. For example, walking or running people, maybe your kids playing around, or your pets, dogs and cats jumping around. You can freeze the motion inside this mode. Of course, if you press and hold, it will take up to 20 photos. But of course, image quality will be bad. I don't suggest you to ever do this, but you have the option if you need it. Video mode, almost everything is the same. You can see on your screen. On Origin OS 4, on the Vivo X100 Ultra, we have this moon button. It will enter the night mode. On X200 Pro, you don't have to do this, because it has sort of night mode built in to your device. I don't think that results are equally as good as dedicated night mode on video, but it is very close in quality and has somewhat better stabilization. So it is what it is. We have exposure compensation on both. On Vivo X100 Ultra, I suggest you, during the day, to move this slider here. You will get a lot better exposure and a lot better skin tones. On X200 Pro, you does not have to do this. Its automatic algorithms will do this for you. But on X100 Ultra, I prefer to move it slightly. It will make results almost identical. We have this new button on Origin OS 5. We can instantly start to edit some videos. We have ultra stabilization, up to 60 frames per second and 2.8K resolution. If you go to 4K, of course, you will lose this ultra stabilization. Up to 120 frames per second, 8K up to 30 Dolby Vision HDR, but I kinda dislike this feature. If you don't understand what color spaces are, what logarithmic curve is, I don't ever suggest you to turn this feature on. It will be very nice on your screen, but on other devices image will be very washed out with weird colors. We have portrait video. On Origin OS 4 it is called cinematic portraits. It will artificially blur your backgrounds. And by the way, you can select your focus point in the post, in the gallery app. You can press this portrait video processing. And you can manually select where to focus. For example, you can select different person on your scene, or maybe you want to make something similar to focus racks. Of course, you can do the same on X100 Ultra with Origin OS 4. And you can select where to focus on each exact time of your video. By the way, forgot to mention, on video both Vivos has Teleprompter option. It works on all lenses and even on selfie. You can have your text, start shooting and read your prompt. Kinda cool feature. Of course, new feature on X200 Pro is log recording in automatic video mode. You can use all lenses, ultra-wide, main and telephoto, and film up to 60 frames per second in this log. But to tell the truth, I kinda find results on X200 Pro very noisy. It is very hard to edit these videos. You need to apply tons of noise reduction, but even then, sometimes image is unusable in very low light conditions. For example, situation like this, when I want to film top-down view, I can easily do it on X100 Ultra, but I cannot do this on X200 Pro. Image becomes just too mushy and very noisy, without extra small crisp details. But of course this video is not about X100 Ultra versus X200 Pro, but about Origin OS 5. What is new, what is different between old one. Let's press Pro. We can shoot main sensor and telephoto in the high resolution RAW files. To shoot in ultra-wide we need to use default resolution. But of course we can select Super RAW. Super RAW is computational photography on Vivo smartphones, and it is very powerful. It can rival even small APS-C mirrorless cameras for something casual like portraits, filming insects, maybe family, album, vacation. I really do not see any reason to recommend small APS-C cameras just for normal people. And by normal, I mean someone who does not earn any money by his profession. For example, me. For my personal stuff, for my hobby, for photography, family albums, something that I want to hang on my wall inside a frame, I will just use my smartphone. This Vivo X100 Ultra. No need for me to buy very expensive and useless small APS-C cameras from Canon, Sony and so on. As you can see, you can control exposure compensation, ISO. If you are taking photos with computational Super RAW in the low light, I suggest to use something like 3200, or maybe if you are filming on your main lens, even 6400, and up image will be a lot cleaner. On both we have up to 12800 on the main lens and 3200 on telephoto and ultrawide. Of course, white balance we can control focus point and metering, average metering, center weighted and spot. And this is cool. For example, on Xiaomi 14 Ultra, I cannot choose any color profile inside computational RAW, but on Vivo we can. I can select textured or Zeiss Natural and shoot Super RAW this way. Also we can shoot with flash. For example, if we want to lit our subject against sunset, sunrise, we can move exposure compensation slider down and use flash. This way you will have a lot better image. And we have RAW video mode for video, and I think that Vivo has one of the best, if not the best, pro camera apps inside all the modern smartphones. We have log, we have zebras, we have focus picking. On Origin OS 5 we can preview with LUT applied. For example, look at this, without LUT and with LUT. Now I wish we can burn in this LUT to our footage, but it is what it is. We can at least preview what it will look like in the end when we apply LUT in our editing software. Also, if you press More settings, go into the Pro features, I suggest to enable everything: metering EV, histogram, waveforms, audio level, photo stabilization, and I usually like to turn off video noise reduction. By the way, on X200 Pro, you cannot turn off video noise reduction when you select log curve. You know why? Because X200 Pro just have too extensive noise levels, almost unusable. That's why it tries to fight with this noise by software. You can control loudness of microphone levels. You can hear your microphone levels here. If you turned off zebras, now we can see waveforms. I like all these features. You know what is funny? Even very expensive cinema and photo cameras does not have all these features built in. Some of the Sony, Nikon, Canon cameras does not have waveforms, does not have all these features that Vivo, just a smartphone, has. It is pretty embarrassing for those companies, but it is what it is. Let's move further. We have slow motion, we have 4K up to 120 frames per second, 1080p up to 240 frames per second, and on X100 Ultra we have 720p up to 480 frames per second. But to tell the truth, it is a bummer. Old Huawei phones had 2000, 5000 and even 10 and 10,000 frames per second. Of course with interpolation, with some trickery, but at least it had all these features. And after all these years, we still don't see any improvements in this regard. So I find results on 4K 120 frames per second very nice. 1080p to 40 frames per second, somewhat acceptable against other smartphones, but that's all. Nothing impressive, nothing mind-blowing. I really expected more, and I wish for more. By the way, I love that we have exposure compensation almost in every mode on Vivo. And as I told you, on X100 Ultra, I suggest you to move this slider slightly back. Even inside slow motion, it will give you a lot more better exposure during the day. Without weird HDR effect on face, everything will be just more natural. And of course, if we press more, we will see high resolution. We can shoot at 200 megapixels from this telephoto HP9. On Origin OS 4, on X100 Ultra we have some AI enhancement. And without AI we have ultra-wide main and telephoto on both. For some reason we don't have any food mode on X200 Pro on this Origin OS. Maybe now it is built in to this scene detection. But here we have some food, if you ever needed it. We have stage mode on both. Suitable for shooting concerts, music festivals and other performance events. Some stage performance use laser equipment, do not aim your phone directly, blah blah blah, alright. Both of them have dedicated stage mode. I love that you can control sharpness slider on both of them. So I feel that's pretty much it. We have Ultra HD documents for scanning your paperwork. Alright my friends, let's quickly see examples of Vivo X100 Ultra. On the left we have Origin OS 4 and on the right Origin OS 5. I want to say thank you for our viewer. His name is John. He sacrificed his device for us to see the results. He was very kind enough to send these photos to me. Once again, big thanks to you, John. Let's quickly zoom in, ultra-wide lenses. And I don't know, maybe it is just a placebo effect. But to tell the truth, I don't see any drastic difference. Everything looks the same. Of course, sometimes you need a lot more examples to see the difference, but here everything is alright. Now quickly main sensor. I will test everything on version 20. Maybe I even like some parts of the image on Origin OS 5. So, if Mr. John is not playing games with us, I think that there is no drastic difference right now. So 2x digital crop on main sensor 15mm. For some reason, Origin OS version looks slightly more well defined. I think the difference is just different focus points. Now telephoto lens 3.7x 85mm, the same conditions. According to Mr. John's description, this is Origin OS 4 and on the right Origin OS 5 version 20. Now somewhere around 13x, 300mm, more extreme zoom levels. And to tell the truth, I don't see that much drastic difference. So, thank you Mr. John once again, and according to all this, Origin OS 5 version 20 is free to install. But of course keep in mind that this is just only this example. Maybe different situations, low light, different lighting conditions can change the output. So my friends, if you are an active Vivo user and you have something to say about updating to Origin OS 5, please leave a comment and tell us your experience. Maybe you have something to say. Are you experiencing upgrades or maybe downgrades? Now 600mm, it is more like 30x, more extreme zoom levels. And very hard to tell. Slightly different lighting conditions, but results are plus minus the same. Last example 10x super raw. Maybe we can see something different here. Maybe I see slightly more aggressive lines from Origin OS 5. Maybe on Origin OS 4 we see just misfocus. So I can see only two possible ways why it looks like this. We see different computation on Origin OS 5, or it is just misfocused on Origin OS 4. So if I compare Origin OS 4 just normal JPEG and super raw from Origin OS 5, kinda hard to tell. Maybe indeed on Origin OS 5 you will get slightly more aggressive line drawing, but again it is super raw and it is 10x extreme digital zoom. So please tell me your experience with your upgrading and let's sum it up. Because right now, for the most part, I see placebo effect, but nothing drastically different. But to tell the truth, I won't upgrade to Origin OS 5 right now. I want to wait and see what Vivo will do in the future. Let's sum it up. If you have any questions, please ask it in the comment section below. I have some other videos about Origin OS 4. And of course, in-depth photo, video, audio comparisons, where I test different smartphones against each other. For example, Xiaomi 14 Ultra, Oppo Find X7 Ultra, Sony Xperia 1 Mark VI, some older models of iPhone 13 Pro, Galaxy S24 Ultra, Pixel 9 Pro XL, some devices from Huawei company, Pura 70 Ultra, Honor Magic 6 Ultimate Edition, so you can check the performance of these two smartphones against all other competition. I will surely make final review of all these smartphones. It will be very compressed, and I need to cut this video here. Thank you, my friends, for watching, and I wish you all a very cosmic day. See you in the next videos.